Today it's Monday, September 23rd, 2024. 113K out of an E55, if I remember right. What I'm doing today, where am I till now? I think that I make a video and I show you that I received the thrust washers and these two there, the OEM Mercedes. Alright, I need to clean a bit the surface rust here. I'm gonna install it like this. And these two, they are the ACL aftermarket. Nothing wrong with that. This will gonna go together, this will gonna go together. I'm not gonna mix it up. I think that I mentioned that before. No worries, I'm repeating myself. So that was one of the reasons why I didn't torque down the crankshaft bearing caps, the bolts. The second reason that I didn't torque it down was because I was waiting to receive the H-beam connecting rods. Okay? Now that I receive it, I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do. I have one OEM connecting rod here. Why I want to check it? Because when you're dealing with an aftermarket connecting rods, what you have to check for a clearance. And back in 2015, almost a decade ago, there was another case like this, 113K. They brought me some non-name connecting rods, no brand connecting rods, okay? And what happened? It was touching the bolt on the wall, on the pan down, and on the oil pan, on the oil pump. Sorry. Now, at this point, you see the clearance between the bolt and the oil pump. Phew, dang it, why the fuck I'm saying all the time? Why I'm saying all the time oil pan? Oil pump, yeah, oil pump. See there how near it is? So, back in 2014 or 15, the last time, I had to machine the bolt and polish a little bit the housing of the oil pump. Because if you see the oil pump, I'm gonna show you. I haven't opened, by the way, the oil pump. You see that it's not being cleaned, it's not being washed, it's not being inspected. It spins nice. I am gonna open it like any other time. I'm just saying that I haven't opened it. All right. One second. Stay. Okay, I'm not gonna fall off. Now, at this point here, you see that has a step. You can slightly machine it to make it face, to make it straight with this housing. You know, whatever imperfections has. That's what I did that time, because it was touching a lot. It was touching the bolt on the wall here. That's what I remember. It was touching the other one from this side. It was touching down. It was all over the place. The problem with that connect notes back that time, it was that it didn't have this offset here. It didn't have this offset to have a clearance, and the bolt, it was ending up to be more high. And I had the problem that time. Now that I explained why I didn't torque down the crankshaft, why I didn't finalize it, also these two thrust washers, the upper one are the old one, the used one. These are the new one, like I said. Just keep it to be centered. I test the number 1 cylinder, I'm testing now the number 5 cylinder, and it looks like that I'm gonna get away by just machining the bolts. I don't have to make a clearance for the block or on the oil pump or on the oil pan down. That's a good news. I get some rough measurements. I didn't put it down on the book. I just get 1, 2 of the aftermarket connecting rods and the stock one. I just compared to see that it's not all over the place. Then, regarding these connecting rod bearings. These connecting rod bearings, they have the knots here. Okay? But this one, they don't have it. They have machined it. And why they have done this? Because if you see the OEM connecting rod has the notches down there. Let's make it like this. Has the notches here up, all right? So if I get this bearing cell, this one, it's the lower one. You see that the gap, the notch is here and it's corresponding to this one. If I try to put it this way here, obviously you're not gonna fit because you need to have a groove from the other side. So this is the lower half. Alright? Now, this one, since it has the knots on the same position, it's also the lower half. And what they have done, they have machined it to be able to put it up. One goes up, one goes down. There is no problem at all. This is not the OEM bearings. The OEM bearings, this ACL. The OEM bearings has up and low. It's not the... You cannot put the upper on the lower and the lower on the upper. That's what I want to say. On this one, on the aftermarket, especially when you coated, and these are the same actually, the same materials, upper and lower. It's not changing something. On the OEM, it's different, has a small difference. What else? What it takes now, I'm gonna explain what it takes. I need to get the bolt, I need to go to the lathe, I have to get the scale with me, and what I'm doing, I'm zeroing it, I'm machining here the bolt at this point, and I'm doing the same thing in all of them. I'm not machining, I'm zeroing the dial there, and all of them I'm machining on the same depth, on the same position. Then I'm getting the scale, I'm getting a weight of the bolt to see that it's correct, how I start and where I finish, to be all of them the same grams and to be all of them machined on the same height. To don't end up to be some of the bolts more machined and some other more high. Makes sense? Alright. It's not the first time, I have done this before. Then nothing more, nothing less. That's what I'm gonna do now. Good thing is that I don't have to... What in hell is that? Dang it. Yeah. The good thing is that I don't have to touch the block, I don't have to touch the oil pan down, and I don't have to touch the oil pump. I might... Not even, you know what I need? I need 2 millimeters, it's more than enough. And I will be able, it's tall enough the bolt to remove 2 millimeters. Yep. Easily, I'll be able to remove 2 millimeters from here. If I have 2 millimeters clearance, and I'm gonna give also approximately 30-35 degrees to don't be sharp the edges, to be like this, I'll be happy. Yeah, that's it. Now, for you, it's gonna be a second. For me, I have to get some measurements, some weight, machine some things, then come again. And then I wanna see the big end, the connecting of weight, it's similar to the OEM. The OEM, it's a little bit more heavy. Not something crazy. We are talking about 2-3 grams difference, more heavy the OEM. But I want to see on the big end what's happening, how much the weight, and we're gonna see how it's gonna end up. I might machine it a little bit on the side, I might machine a little bit down here on the cap, a little bit, not something crazy with a belt here. It depends what kind of weight you're gonna show me and if it's all over the place. Alright, that's the story. If I forget to make any other video, because it's gonna take me some time to do all these things, I have to close the engine, I have to wrap the engine again to don't contaminate it. Need to do some things. If I forget it and the video finish here, I'm sorry. I'm gonna make another video later on. Otherwise, we are moving on. I get one bolt. All the bolts are between 27.4 to 27.5 grams. Okay, and the height of the total height of the bolt is 50-62. It's the average. You can find 50-61, 50-63 millimeters. Okay, I call it 50-62 and I call it 27.5. Now this bolt that I machine, it's at 48-53 millimeters. And it's at 26.2 grams. That means it's 1.3 grams lighter from 27.5. and I machine it by 2 millimeters. But there is a but. Because of the corner here, and because it's in an angle, it's not like that I machine what does it, 2 millimeters, and you're gonna have a clearance 2 millimeters. It sits like this, the bolt. So what can I do? I can pass the not 1.3, 1.2 millimeters. I have 1.2 millimeters clearance, and it's okay. It's okay. I might machine even a little bit the housing of the oil pump to don't have any headache. 1 millimeter is more than enough, just in case, for a peace of mind. I'm not gonna make it more weak. The pump has plenty of material, and I have done this before, like I said. Let me tie it a little bit, not something crazy, 5-10 Newton meters by hand, just only to see how much the clearance from the pump. Alright, here you see the one that I machined, this been untouched, alright? Keep in mind that this one is not touching anywhere. It has plenty of clearance all around, alright? But how much material and how much weight I'm gonna remove from this, I'm gonna do the same thing in all of them. It's not very good to have, let us say, on the big end of the connecting rod, let us say 1.3 gram, one side to be lighter and the other one to be heavier. Alright, so let's see now, where am I? This is the 1.2 millimeters. It's more than a millimeter. That's what matters, actually. It's greater than a millimeter. And like I said, I might polish, I might remove a little bit material from there, just in case, for a peace of mind. There, supposed to be the higher spot. Let me see. And that's the closest point to the pump. Alright, now let me repeat that again on the rest of the bolts. Okay, looks like I'm gonna get away with that by just machining the bolts. Lovely. Then I'm gonna prepare everything, and when I'm gonna start closing, when I'm gonna be ready from the piece connecting rods, everything, I'm gonna have it in a row, I'm gonna make another video. That's the best thing. That's the best thing, because I might forget it, or they might call me outside and I'm gonna forget even to upload the video. Let's call this part one of these parts, okay? And next video, start closing the engine. Now, definitely not gonna happen today. All right, and let me continue with that. Yeah, thank you very much. Over and out.